Hi, this is Phil Marriott at Low Profile for tonight's GaydarRadio Live, and tonight's act is the lovely Becky Jones, aka St. Saviour. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You're
Brilliant.
here for the first GaydarRadio Live event here tonight. We're very excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Obviously, you've got a new album out as well, so
yeah.
What are you going to be playing for us? What's your set going to be?
I'm going to play a couple of songs from the album and a few kind of old favourites, because I've got a few people coming down who I think want to hear some of my old numbers. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a mixture of both.
Is this event kind of different to what you're normally used to? Because I know that you've played another event. Was it the Islington Chapel that you did for another acoustic event a while back, about a year ago?
I did the Little Noise sessions with Joe Wiley. But we do a lot of this because we generally get asked to play acoustically for blogs and videos and stuff like that anyway.
Is it something that comes naturally to you to do that kind of acoustic set? Because you're kind of electronic as well. You've got a real juxtaposition thing going on with your music, haven't you? Yeah,
it's quite difficult to get both of them under the same umbrella, really. But I think you just asked to do it so much that you've got to do it. And but I do find it. I really like sitting and being like sat with my band. Yeah. Feel like kind of on a level with them, like we're all in it together. Because when I do my more kind of electronic stuff, I'm just at the front with a catsuit on, screaming at people. So yeah, it's a totally different side of the personality, I guess.
But this is awesome because we've had people at their keyboards just on their own, which is fantastic. But you've got the whole band here with a harp as well, which is quite magical.
I'm really not into just sitting and playing the piano on my own. I've never been the kind of singer-songwriter who goes and does open mics or anything like that. I don't enjoy it, to be honest, and I'd rather, because I appreciate the layers of songs, and that's why I put lots of instruments on stage with me to just kind of get a bit of an orchestral feel going.
And the music is perfect for Christmas time as well, and I have to say, lovely jumper there, very festive.
This is my Christmas jumper, supplied by Ivory Jar, who are my friends who've got a stall on Brick Lane Market, and they're amazing.
Brilliant. I feel very underdressed. But you're the star of the show. We got to talk about the new album because it's just finished. Very exciting.
Yeah, I finished mixing it on Friday, so I'm mastering it next week, and then trying to find a release partner, I guess, for spring.
Has it been enjoyable to record? Because it's been a bit of a crazy year for you, hasn't it, this year?
Yeah, it's been a really full-on year, and actually I don't often stop and think what I've done, but in 1 year I've self-released 2 EPs and a single, and been on tour with Hertz and done loads and loads of stuff, and just really crammed it all in. So, and I can't believe that I've actually finished an album as well in 1 year. So, but it was really enjoyable to do. Yeah.
Is it quite nice to have an album that's yours as opposed to being obviously called the voice of Groove Armada quite a bit as well? Is it quite nice to have your own album?
Yeah, it is. But more importantly, I produced it myself as well, which I think I'm really, really proud of that, because I think a lot of female artists feel like they're kind of shoehorned into being like the face of something, but not actually getting to showcase all of their talents. And just through necessity, really, I've had to produce it myself. Yeah. But in retrospect, I'm really happy that I have, because I feel like an independent lady.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Groove Armada, was it a good time for you working with them?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Quite an exciting venture.
Amazing memories, brilliant experience, really fun.
And you commonly get called, compared to Kate Bush, of course, because you've got a very, very similar voice, but obviously you're very different because you're your own artist. Does that flatter you, or does it annoy you?
Yeah,
you're constantly being referred to as. Yeah,
it kind of flatters me, but I do end up talking about this quite a lot because people do bring it up all the time. And I say the same thing all the time, that I didn't actually listen to her when I was growing up. I didn't really know who she was or what she'd done or anything, and it wasn't until I hit my 20s that I even bothered trying to listen to her. And my voice isn't. It's not like I've sat down and tried to copy her voice. I think it's just because I'm a soprano. Yeah. And it just comes out like that, and just it's a coincidence.
Yeah. Your songs have been remixed as well, which we love, because obviously there's a dance element to that with the electro stuff that you do. Is that something that's important to you, to remix your tracks?
Yeah, definitely. Because I've always got, but my heart is in nightclubs and dancing around, and so I sit at a piano and I'll write a kind of heartbreaking ballad, but then I'll get loads of my friends to remix, and I quite often get my fans to remix for me and stuff like that as well.
It's quite a healthy thing, isn't it? I think to have that kind of musical interest, it's quite schizophrenic, it's quite eclectic.
Yeah, but I think,
like
to be honest, I think it's just a sign of the times, really. I think it's easier to make music nowadays, and it's easy to share music and collaborate digitally, because I actually wrote the Groove Armada album by email, and Andy lives in France. We didn't get together and do anything. We just did it by sending files, and I do that a lot with loads of people, so I think it's just the way it is.
Sure. I mentioned the covers. I was going to mention the covers because I mentioned Kate Bush, which you did a cover of Army Dreamers recently, which was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So good, and so perfectly suited your voice to that as well. You've done Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence, Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Were these songs that were really special to you, and what do you think of covers generally? Do you enjoy doing those?
Well, actually, I was thinking about this last night because Leona did Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, and I saw the backlash on Twitter, and I actually thought it was really good and really brave of her to do.
Yeah, very brave.
And very interesting. The piano arrangement was very interesting as well. There's like a diminished fifth in there or something, which is like the devil's interval.
Yeah.
And she's wearing red, and it was all very dramatic. And I understand that there's like a social issue with her singing that song because of what it's about. But at the end of the day, it's music, and music's for everybody. And I think like I got a bit of flack when I covered Love Will Tear Us Apart, but I just think I love the song. I'll sing it at home all the time. I just happen to record it. If somebody likes it, then they're going to play it. You know, it's not the end of the world.
It's almost like a pop snobbery, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is.
People wouldn't expect Leona Lewis to cover 9 Inch Nails, and probably the same with other artists as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done many gigs, obviously. Have you done any gay nights? Because this is obviously a gay club for Gaydar. Is it the sort of thing that you've done in the past?
Yeah, I've done loads. My old band, the RGBs, we only existed in Shoreditch, playing like all kinds of nights, but it just happens to, it's just that kind of like electronic dancey nightclubby thing, isn't it? You always end up I've played at lots and lots of gay nights all over Europe, so yeah, I'm kind of used
how
to
do they compare to the other nights that you do? Do you prefer those, or
it's really funny actually. It's funny because I did one at this place called Fruit in Hull, and they must have, I don't think they did a lot of research about me, because we were on tour with hers and we were doing the whole like harp thing and the piano thing, and they put me on at about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you heard my recent material? And it was just lots of guys just going like, yeah. And I was doing like a ballad, and they were just talking at the top of their voices all the way through. It was really difficult, and I ended up just going, oh, sod it, and putting the electro stuff on and just dancing around, and they loved it. So sometimes it goes a bit wrong, sometimes it gets lost in translation sometimes, but it's also very fun.
I would imagine that the gay crowd, well, I know that there's a lot of gay fans that love you, not just for the voice, but also for the costumes that you wear as well, because you mentioned the jellyfish costume, which is what you've worn in the past. And you've got that kind of very unusual style in some of your videos as well, with the big outfits and stuff. Not necessarily in a Lady Gaga way, but what do you make of her as well?
I think Lady Gaga is amazing. Yeah, I think she's brilliant. I just think I've just got a lot of respect for her, and respect is what I'm all about. I look up to female artists who are strong and just pave their own way and get back up when they've been punched in the face. So and I think Lady Gaga's done an amazing job of just going, I'm not going to give up, and just completely gone for it.
And she pushes the boundaries as well.
Yeah, totally.
Which is what you do, I think, as well.
I try to. I mean, I've got limited means, but I don't have as many costumiers as her, but I do try and do interesting stuff. Sometimes it goes a bit wrong, but it's fun.
It's trial and error, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to try things out.
Yeah.
I've got to talk about This Ain't No Him, the video for that. Was that filmed under the arches? Because it looked like there's a gay club called XXL, which is where all the bears go, and it looked like it was filmed in there.
No, it wasn't. It was filmed in this weird crypt in Holborn, and actually, I think they told us when we went down there that only about 10 years ago there were corpses to the ceiling, and they'd excavated it. And it wasn't until the end of the day that we realised that just in the next tunnel along from us there's this mummy. and it was quite spooky.
That's why I saw that video, gave me goosebumps, and now when I watch it again, it's actually going to have a more traumatic effect. Now I know that about it.
It's a bit weird.
Your music's been described as quite melodramatic. Is that something that you're quite cool with? Are you happy with that?
I guess I've tried to calm down a lot recently. It used to be a lot more melodramatic. I used to really. To be honest, it started as a way of me conquering stage fright, and I would just go balls out crazy on stage, and it was the only way that I could do it. It was either that or nothing, and my melodrama just came from that, and then my music ended up being a bit dramatic as well. I'm trying my best to calm down and sing a bit more calmly, but I've just got a really high-pitched voice, and I understand that sometimes it can feel a bit extreme to some people, so I work on it a lot. I exercise. That's good, we love it.
The more melodramatic, the better, I think.
Yeah.
Are you that sort of person? Are you a melodramatic person?
Yeah, I am. I'm a bit of a drama queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a few of those. I read somewhere that your pet hate is seeing men walking down the street holding their bits, which I found quite interesting, because that wouldn't be a pet hate for me.
So
actually
angry.
Quite like that.
It's not in a kind of. It's in that kind of like buildery way, you know, where they're wearing like jogging bottoms, and they just think they see fit to just stand there holding their balls, and I just think that is the most crass thing you could do. If my grandfather was around, he'd kick the poo out of you.
Sign of the times. He's gone down a slippery slope. A review on one of your tracks called Horse, which I read a review. If the rest of the record is as powerful and affecting as this outstanding ballad, I Am Sold. Obviously talking about your new album as well, so that's quite a nice indication of what's to come.
Yeah, that's brilliant, yeah. And Horse, I really love the song Horse. I'm really pleased with it. So.
How can you sum up the album? What are we to expect the kind of music that you've made this year, but more out there?
It's a bit less aggressive because I produced it myself, so I didn't have somebody affecting it as much and putting all the kind of weight into the drums and stuff like that. So it's a bit more feminine and a bit more broody, but it's still very much my voice, and it's still all really high and floaty and fairy-like and stuff. Excellent. But yeah, it's just a bit more womanly, I guess.
Is there going to be some more visuals to come with that? I can imagine you creating a video for the whole album.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Eurythmics did with Savage back in the 80s.
Yeah, that's something that I'm striving for the whole time, and it's so hard to nail, but I really want to meet someone who's good at visuals and wants to just take me on and do the album as a project with me, because I'm very aware that the way you present it visually is 50% of the deal. So I'm still looking, actually. I really need somebody, if anyone's out there who makes videos and takes photos, please get in touch, because I just want everything to do with my album to look really slick and cool, and to have a definite kind of thread running through it, rather than, because my past career has just been random, like film noir to crazy psychedelic sea creatures to, you know, it's just mental, and I need someone to rein me in and
someone who identifies with you as an artist as well.
I think so,
gets that whole visual thing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to seeing you tonight. Cannot wait to see you. It'll be the first time I've seen you live as well.
Oh, cool.
So enjoy your low profile experience in Gaydar Radio Live, and thanks for chatting to us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.